You know, a lot of black people have always talked about what we're seeing today is that other groups have immigrated to this country and they're having this hostile attitude toward black Americans. It wouldn't be for black Americans, they wouldn't have an opportunity to come here and make, themselves have a great life if they decide to work hard and do so. Case in point, this one woman who recognized that exchange with Don Lemon and Vivek Ramaswamy, she was pretty upset by the firing of Don Lemon, and she kind of touched on something that a lot of black Americans have been saying as of late. Let's go ahead and roll that.
So CNN silences another black person in the form of Don Lemon because he challenged that Indian Vivek Ramaswamy, or whatever the hell his name was, on national TV. You know, I really am sick and tired of all of these people who have come to America after black people have fought for their civil rights, that these Indians and every other minority now enjoy, to tell black people how they should feel. I am so sick of hearing them making it seem the experience that black people went through this country, they should just basically get over it. Because it's still going on. You just have to watch some of these TikTok videos with this color Americans and others that you see the hatred. CNN is Fox Light. CNN is not doing any good for America when people who lie are not called out on national television. The NRA did not help black people. Do you remember a time when black people during the Civil War, the only time they could carry guns was during the Civil War? After that, if they had a gun, they probably would have been lynched. Do you remember what happened when the Black Panthers showed up in California with their assault rifles? Ronald Reagan changed the law. So to have this Indian say that he did on national TV, and CNN fires Don Lemon because he called him out, is total bullshit, people. These other races need to stop telling black Americans what they should and should not feel.
One thing about human nature is that when they receive good things that they didn't have to work for, they become arrogant. They become very arrogant and not appreciative. You have people that immigrate to this country like Ramaswamy and his family, and he didn't have to go through fighting Jim Crow, his family. He didn't have to deal with the colored water fountain. He didn't have to deal with the Klan. He didn't have to deal with Bull Connor. He didn't have to deal with that. He didn't have to deal with the water hoses being turned on his family. His family didn't deal with the dogs biting them. He didn't have to deal with that. He didn't deal with slavery. He didn't deal with a form of the black codes on his people. He had to fight for a voting rights bill or a civil rights bill. He had to fight for any of that. He got to come in after all the work was done, after all the blood was shed and the deaths piled up. Him and many others got to come in after the fact and waltz themselves into America and live a life that they would not have received in their own homeland. Then they have the nerve to tell black people how we should feel, how we should think about racism, telling us about reparations, saying what they're not going to pay in reparations. Why should we get reparations? Why can't they get it? They'll say things like that to black people, understanding that Your reparation is the opportunity that you had to come here, and the life you live in today, if you've done something with it, that is your reparation payment right there. Because you didn't go through slavery. You didn't go through Jim Crow. You didn't go through black codes. You didn't go through convict leasing. You didn't go through the sharecropping. You didn't go through any of that.
You know, I really am sick and tired of all of these people who have come to America after black people have fought for their civil rights, that these Indians and every other minority now enjoy, to tell black people how they should feel.
All the unpaid labor of the black man and woman. They didn't deal with any of that. But they got to enjoy the fruit of our labor and our fight. In a world where people think with common sense, you would think they would say, you know what, that's my friends right there, because if they didn't do what they done, my parents wouldn't have had the opportunity to come to America, and now I'm living the life I'm living. But no, they're hostile to black people. They're hostile, a lot of them, and they join in with the white supremacists, saying black people are the problem. When it wouldn't be for black people, they wouldn't even be here to even talk. And the white supremacists don't like them either. But they'll use them to get numbers to be against the black man and woman of America. This is why a lot of black people are saying, nah, we not cool by y'all with nobody no more. We are pulling back, all the way back from everybody. We only worrying about ourselves. We only thinking about us. We're not doing no coalitions. There's no such thing as a coalition, because every time the coalition is one-sided. Every time we fight for other group or it's time to fight for us, they're nowhere to be found. Nowhere.
Sick of hearing them making it seem the experience that black people went through this country, they should just basically get over it, because it's still going on. You just have to watch some of these TikTok videos with this color Americans and others that you see the hatred. CNN is Fox Light. CNN is not doing any good for America when people who lie are not called out on national television.
So we're saying that we have severed all ties from other groups. Are some individuals from other groups cool? Yes, and they can be, but we say individuals. We're not doing collectives. No more collective anything. We're worrying about black folks. We're worrying about trying to get our reparations. We're worried about trying to free our community. That's what we're worried about. We're not worried about other groups no more. Other groups got a problem, y'all deal with it. Y'all handle that, whatever it may be. God bless y'all in the process. But we can't take the disrespect. No. We're just not going to be there for them. That's all. And trust me, the white supremacists always circle their wagons. And they going to come right back around to them. And when they come to them, don't look this way. I always say that. Don't look this way. Because you're not going to get nothing from me. Unless you are cool with the black community as an individual, then we would defend that one individual, but not a group. But let me know what y'all think about this woman is saying. She's spot on about that. You know, all these other groups come in here and get all this freebie. And it wouldn't be for black people. And then they want to have an attitude with us. That's just crazy.